Hey there! Welcome to this episode of Sensible Home Cooking. I'm Ken, and this is my Sensible Home Kitchen. Today, I'm going to be making a dessert. I'm going to be making a no sugar added dessert. Specifically, that will be a no sugar added pumpkin loaf. All right, let's take a look and see what ingredients we're going to need for this. As always, I've got the recipe stored here on my 1980s Magnavox word processor. If this is something you're interested in, you should check out my other channel, Canadian Retro Things, to have a look at some of the other retro equipment that I own. So, for today's recipe, we are going to need 10 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 3 cups of flour, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/3 cup of buttermilk, 1 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree, 3/8 cup of Splenda brown sugar mixed with 3/8 cup of flour, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of raisins. All right, let's get cooking. I have laid out everything here that I am going to need to make this pumpkin loaf. We've got a mixture of the baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Here we have a mixture of the allspice, the nutmeg, and the cinnamon. Here we have the mixture of Splenda brown sugar and flour. Now the reason we had to add flour to that is because we want to keep the same bulk. Splenda brown sugar only requires 1/2 teaspoon to every teaspoon of regular brown sugar. So to make up for the lack of bulk there, we add flour. Here we have the buttermilk, the butter, eggs, raisins, 3 cups of flour, and 1 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree. So the first thing we have to do is add this mixture and this mixture into the flour and add the buttermilk into the pumpkin puree. Now we will mix the pumpkin puree up with the buttermilk. That's about good enough. Now we will give the flour a bit of a stir to mix everything through. And the next thing we need to do is move over to the stand mixer, cream the butter with the sugar flour mix, and then add the eggs. The butter is in the bowl. We're using the paddle mixer for this. Then we add our brown sugar and flour mixture. Now the butter is creamed, we can add the eggs. We'll scrape the butter off the sides of the bowls. Add our 2 eggs. Turn everything back on. Once that's all mixed together, you add about 1/3 of the bowl of flour. Give it another mix. Now we add about 1/2 the bowl of pumpkin puree and buttermilk. Give that another mix. Scrape everything down from the sides of the bowl. Add another third of the flour mixture. Add the rest of the pumpkin puree. Add the rest of the flour and the raisins. And there we go. Your pumpkin loaf mix is ready. And the next thing to do is preheat your oven to about 370. Get out whatever loaf pan you want to use. I like to make these mini loaves. Give a little bit of a greasing to how many ever you're going to make. I'm going to make 2 right now. So now I take a bit of margarine here, spread it around. I'm going to make 2 loaves right now. So we get 2 sections ready. Fill these up nicely. And it's ready to bake at 370 for 24 minutes. The next thing that I do is I pre-package some of the mixture. It should work out to about 250 grams for 2 loaves. So got some plastic bags over here. All the bags are packed up. And I've printed some labels on some mailing label stickers. And this way I can keep track of exactly when I froze each of these. So they don't get too old in the freezer. They'll keep in the freezer for at least 3 weeks. The oven is ready to go. So in go the loaves. And the 24 minutes is up. Bring out our pumpkin loaf. Put a knife in to see. Comes out clean. They're done. Now we let them cool. The pumpkin loaf has cooled. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the cinnamon icing on it. If you'd like to know how to make this cinnamon icing, you can check out the link at the top or a link to that video down in the description. Now we can cut this up and try it. So now here is the finished product. Let's give it a little taste. Delicious. Honestly, tasting that, you would have no idea that it's made with Splenda. It tastes just like a regular pumpkin loaf. It's, yeah, delicious. This is one of my favorite desserts. Now, one of these loaves has about 233 calories and about 26 grams of carbs, about 19 grams of sugar. So it's not healthy, but it is a dessert. And these are pretty big, so you're probably not going to eat one all by yourself. So yeah, you can make these. You can find somebody to share them with and enjoy. All right, well, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you try out this recipe because it is delicious. And yeah, if you like this video, you can leave a comment below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Later.